Alright, what is up guys? Joe Dobby here, just doing a brief deck profile of what I've played and really enjoy right now. There are drawbacks though to this deck, well, just a few things that I noticed from playing it, but I just want to get into just talking about why I like this deck and some of the cool things that I thought would be great in terms of how I built it. I took inspiration from YouTubers like Rosmero and Cardataku in building a purple deck, and you know, I've seen some gameplay videos here and there, but nothing really solid, so I just decided to build this from what I was seeing and learning, and hopefully you guys will get an idea of what you want to build for your purples as well. Now for babies, I chose Pagumon and Yammon. Now the reason why is because I don't really have a lot of cards that I am going to be searching for, because I feel like the ratios are just enough. But I mean, as far as the Yammon is concerned, I like having 4 of them just to boost my megas. An additional 1000 DP is pretty good, particularly when you're facing decks like Old Force Digimon, which is what I'll be showing you in the gameplay video to follow. Another thing is, you know, I just like being able to strengthen at every stage, like my Digimon, because I'm not really going to be milling cards or discarding any cards in order to play from my discard, apart from maybe Piedmon, but that's about it, and Grizzly Wing. Anyway, off to the rookies. I chose this ratio because I want to at least have cards in my hand. So the 4 Tapermon, in order to, when destroyed, draw 1 is really great. The 4 Gabumon, because of the inheritable effect. This deck is going to be doing quite a bit of digivolving, with the exception of a few cards. So the Gabumon is going to play a pretty integral role here. Devimon is just for that quick rookie play. There are events where I think sometimes I'll end up at a rookie rush phase depending on how much I draw, what I draw, early, mid, late, etc. So Devimon's that quick 2 cost creature that you can play and kind of expand on from there. That said, I took 3 Impmon, and just because, you know, allowing me to discard 3 cards from the top of my deck, while it might sound pretty bad if you're like a Digivolution type deck, reliant deck, it's not that bad because I will have some synergies from the discard pile like Piedmon that I'll end up playing. And in addition to that, like being able to count my discard and figure out what's in my discard pile is going to ultimately contribute to the decisions I make as I progress. There will be bad days where you're discarding cards you need, but it is what it is, and I think I'll be digivolving Impmon as well anyway, so at least I'll be in control of when I discard 3 cards. That said, going into my champions, I only have 3 different Digimon here, but the ratios are 4, 3, and 4. Vengeance Devimon is great. I love Vengeance. I love being able to not only use it with the Devimon straight up, but also through inheritable effects. For those who don't know, Vengeance is essentially when this Digimon or Devimon would be destroyed by battle with another Digimon, that Digimon is also destroyed and sent to the trash. So really powerful card. Garurumon's great because it allows me to play around with the memory. I like being able to manipulate memory whenever I can, and I think for a deck that's going to rely on Malomyotismon and Venomyotismon, which we'll see later, Garurumon is going to be pretty good. Vilemon, I've got 4 blockers here. I like having blockers, gives me some peace of mind sometimes, knowing that I'll end up drawing one eventually. Also, it synergizes in a sense that if I don't need blockers right now, and I don't want to play them from my hand, hopefully Impmon will be able to discard the Vilemon, and then I'll be able to play Piedmon to summon my blockers when I need them, at no cost really. So that's going to be really great. Going into my ultimate Digimon, I have 9. Might sound like a lot, but I really need them. 3 Myotismon for that quick 2 cost to Digivolve ultimate phase, so level 5. Also isn't too bad to play from your hand with a level 6, and that's just going to accelerate my ability to get to V Myotismon and to M Myotismon. Now, Garurumon, kind of a luxury card. I might actually mess around with the ratios a bit because it is quite expensive to play hard casted, and also a little bit of expensive to play Digivolving for what it actually is. I mean, it's great that by destroying one of your Digimon, this Digimon becomes active and reactivate like V-Myotismon or M-Myotismon through where Garurumon is one of its Digivolution sources. But I mean, how often I'll be able to do that will depend on what I use and how much memory I get, etc. Now, Chimeramon, I think super important card to have because it does offer removal. So when played by destroying one of your other Digimon, destroy one of your opponent's level 5 or less Digimon. So that actually synergizes with Were Garurumon, which is really, really good. If I did want to get rid of a blocker and then summon Piedmon later in order to bring back the blocker, that's also a good option that Chimeramon has for me. So I think 3 of them is pretty good. Now moving on to the exciting part, my favorite part, the Megas. I love Malomyotismon. Piercing. During both players' turn, if your other Digimon or your opponent's Digimon are destroyed, get 1 memory for each Digimon destroyed. So I actually really love that because it makes my opponents second guess what they think they'll be doing with their turn. You have to now calculate what Digimon you expect to be destroyed. If you're going to think about attacking security, my security, you're going to think twice because you might not want to run into something that will destroy the Digimon attacking, leaving you 1 memory short. And piercing is also super awesome because I can basically attack with M-Myotismon, run him into another Digimon, and still get that security check, so that's pretty good. I've got 3 of him. Now 3 V-Myotismons as well, and the reason why I wanted to have that option is because security attack +1 is pretty good, and another thing is when my opponent's Digimon are rested during their turn, I get +1 memory. So in the rare event, I've got to do more testing, but in the rare event that I have both of these Digimon out, it's going to be pretty dangerous for my opponent. They're going to really think twice when to attack, and as long as I keep them hesitant on attacking, I'll be able to attack, so that's pretty good. So 2 Piedmon, X Factor card here, has Vengeance, which is great, and I can play 2 level 4 or less purple Digimon from my trash without paying their cost. The 2 cards I'm definitely going to be looking to play will be Devimon and Vilemon, and I'll most likely look to Piedmon when I have no other option but to bring back blockers and hopefully buy me a few more turns to recoup and come back from the game. So this is a card I would play when I'm playing from behind and need something quick. Now 3 copies of Grizzly Wing, which is great because it allows me to get my rookies back. So for example, if I end up trashing some of my key rookie Digimon like Tapermon or Gabumon or Devimon because of Impmon's effect, I am less likely to worry about having a rookie to Digivolve with because of Grizzly Wing. And it's also a pretty low cost card, so that's good. Now 4 Trump Swords. I get so much value out of playing Trump Swords regardless of what purple deck I play or purple hybrid. I feel like Trump Swords is just a must-have, and being able to destroy one of your opponent's active Digimon on a security check is absolutely brutal for your opponent sometimes. It can mean the difference between them ultimately losing the game. So having 4 is super important to me. Heat Viper I threw in there because I watched someone's YouTube video and they just thought they'd try Heat Viper. They didn't really get a lot of value out of it, but I want to keep testing and trying, and the reason why is because its main effect is by destroying one of your Digimon, I can destroy up to 2 of my opponent's level 4 or less Digimon. Typically, blockers are going to be level 4, and I feel that in conjunction, like through synergizing with the Were Garurumon effect, of becoming active, through synergizing with the Garurumon effect of gaining +1 memory, and through Myotismon too, right? So gaining +1 memory as well. There's going to be quite a bit of synergy here with this card, and I feel like it's going to mean the difference between my ability to close out and destroy any clutch blockers that my opponent might have, versus not being able to attack their security at all. But that's the deck. Let me know if you guys what you guys would change, or what you guys think of the deck overall. I really want to be able to optimize it, not so it's like super fun. Right now I'm really enjoying it, but you know, it could always, there's always room for improvement. And you know, I want to build a memory based deck that's purple in the future, now that Tsukaimon, Digimon, and all these cards are out, so I'm really excited. But for now, I'm loving this one. So thank you guys for watching, and the gameplay video is actually going to be coming up, so enjoy.